Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, so the last video that I did in this little series was about cord cutting, okay? So if you don't know about cords, you might want to go back and watch that because this is like further into that basically. So attachments come from many different places, but I think some of the most common ones are because we've had energetic cords that we didn't cut, we didn't take care of it, we didn't heal, and so over time those cords, those attachments of energy through the form of cords have grown, or they have, multiplied, they've intensified, and so they can come now in the form of attachment, and that can be a little bit more difficult for you to heal or difficult for you to release yourself from the energy of it. I did make some notes so that I don't forget. So basically, attachments are very similar to energy cords, but it's just a little bit more intense. It's like it's going to impact you every single day. It's usually something that, it can show up in different ways, but it's usually something that shows up daily for you. So if you're constantly having headaches, or you're constantly having issues with communication, you're constantly having belly aches or cramps or whatever, that could be an attachment connected to the certain chakra that's connected to the energy attachment. Okay, so again, all cords that we have come from certain chakras, so if they're not dealt with over time, it creates an attachment to that chakra, and so it's going to impact you in different ways depending upon what's going on with it. Now, some of the ways that we can have attachments beyond that are like past lives. So you could have, somebody that you dealt with in a past life, and they don't have to incarnate into this lifetime with you. Sometimes they do, and so you may have an attachment to a person because you have a contract or an attachment from a past life with that person that was never healed or cleared. And so in this lifetime, you may have a lesson or a karmic contract that you have to deal with. But that is about contracts. We could go into that at another time. But this is more like an attachment would be more that something happened in a past life, you never dealt with it, there was some sort of agreement that was never cleared, so in this lifetime, it's there. And it can come in the form of phobias, just fears, things that you don't really have a rational explanation for, like, why am I so afraid of heights? Well, maybe in a past life, somebody pushed you off a bridge, or somebody pushed you and you fell to your death, and so you have an attachment. Or vice versa, you could have done something to somebody else in a past life, and if they're not here in this lifetime, their anger or their resentment against you could carry into this one. So you would want to do some sort of meditation to go back into your past life to figure out, where is this coming from? If there's no thing that happened in this lifetime that can really be pinpointed for where that energy or what that symptom is connected to, it's likely coming from a past life. So it is likely some sort of agreement that is coming out of the lower vibrational feelings and emotions that needs to be brought into your awareness so that you can say, oh, okay, and then take your power back from it. So you would want to clear the contract. Usually the best way to do that would be meditation. Sometimes it's hard for us to pinpoint things though, because we can't see where it's coming from. So having somebody else to guide you, or somebody else who knows more about it, to go in to either your Akashic record. So you could have somebody do an Akashic record reading, or you could have somebody do a past life reading, or you could have somebody guide you, do a hypnosis, different things like that, just to kind of figure out, okay, what's gone on in my past life that is carried into this life, that is in the form of an attachment that is impacting me daily to the point where it's detrimental, and you don't want to get it to that point, okay? So you want to start doing the work now to figure out where it's coming from. Another one is our thoughts. Our thoughts are going to create attachments. So if you're constantly thinking negatively, you're bringing your vibration down. You're going to open yourself up because you're creating all those negative cords of eventually they accumulate into a big attachment, or you attract something towards you through that negative headspace, through that negative thinking, through fear or hate or jealousy. On the flip side of this is you could have somebody in your life that has jealousy for you. Every time something goes good in your life, every time, things, whatever, they're triggering that person's jealousy. It can get worse and worse and worse, and to the point where now it's created an attachment. And again, it will impact you differently. So you may just start feeling less confident in the relationships that you do have, or you may even, things may be going amazing for you, but you still don't have the confidence, or you don't feel confident in the things that are going good for you. Could have like this underlying fear that at any moment it's going to get taken away, and it could be because somebody's like sending their daggers at you, and now it's created attachment where it's actually depleting your power, or it's impacting your other relationships, or it's impacting the way that you communicate. Headaches could be connected to your third eye. If somebody is angry at you, and they have some sort of spiritual connection, or you have a spiritual connection that they're jealous of, their hate and their energy directed at you can start impacting that. So there's, again, all different ways that this can happen. But you wanna go and figure out, like, where's that coming from. So even me just saying, like, somebody could be jealous of you, like, the first person that you had pop into your head is likely the person that is, because we don't trust ourselves. All of this information is inside of us. We are all very intuitive. We all have the answers inside of us as to where attachments are coming from, or where they originated from, but we doubt ourselves because that's just what humans do, and we've been conditioned through society to do that. But if you start to trust your intuition, if you start to take your power back and know that you have the answers inside of you, things will get a little bit easier for you. So trusting your intuition is going to be key. Using meditation is going to be key, because then you kind of release yourself from the society conditioning, the ego mind, and you're allowing yourself to navigate back to a time where you can figure out either where it's come from or who it's coming from. And then you can go ahead and, make the, the statement or affirm, like, I now ask that this attachment be cleared. I demand that this go in accordance with the law of spirit. Just whatever feels appropriate to you, or call on the angels, call on somebody up above that you feel you can assist in giving your power to assist you in bringing your power back. You know what I mean? So really, it's always going to be different. We do also have ghosts and poltergeists. So a ghost or a poltergeist would just be, somebody that's confused. A lot of times if you have like a ghost or something in your house that's impacting you, it's not usually just coming in to attach to you just because it's like got it out for you. A lot of times it's a person that passed that's confused. They may not even know that they've passed over. And so you could be living in a home that they once lived in, that they still consider their home, and you may interact with them as they're going through their routines as to what they would have been doing in the home hadn't they ever died. So in those instances, it could be just that, like, a house clearing or a house blessing would be, helpful. You could get sage or Palo Santo and bless the house. You could put different types of crystals in all four corners of the house. You could have somebody come in to do a house blessing. You could use holy water. There's all different ways. You could do different rituals. You could look up prayer for house blessing. But all of those things would be beneficial to get an energy attachment out of the home, because it's usually connected to the home. But if you start to irritate this thing for some reason, it can start to attach to you, or it will attach to the person in the house with the lowest vibration and start acting through it. And that's usually more of a poltergeist. That's when you get into the poltergeist energy, where like somebody in the house drinks a lot, and the spirit that was there starts to get into their body because they enjoy drinking through that person. So they're getting to use their body as a means of doing the things that they've wanted to do since they've been passed. And then it can start to impact that person's personality, and again, all of these attachments will impact your personality. It will impact how you feel. So if you're constantly getting angry, or if you're getting triggered by things that once didn't trigger you, or once weren't showing up to the point that they are now, that can be a big red flag that you have some sort of attachment that you need to bring your awareness to clear it out and heal it. Okay, so those are usually like outward ones that are coming into you, and it's likely that it just happened because your vibration dropped, or you gave your power away at some point, or somebody's just been like really energetically daggering at you. And then another one with the ghost would be like, say one of your parents had passed over, but you had unfinished business, or a family member passed over, you had unfinished business, or when they passed, you then took on so much grief and, say, guilt connected to that person's passing. Well, now you're creating an energetic attachment through that grief, through that guilt, through whatever wasn't expressed while they were here. So again, it could be them or it could be you that's creating this attachment. But what needs to happen is you either want to get a medium or you want to communicate with them and get to communicate all of the things that you never got to express to them while they were here, or hear out what they never got to say to you while they were here. So in those instances, a medium would probably be beneficial, or even just like a meditation, again, a guided meditation to connect with a deceased past one so that you can have the stuff that wasn't finished, finished, but also healing, like healing. Going into the emotions that are connected to that person is going to help you to release the attachment so that it doesn't come back up again, because you could say the things you wanted to say, but you may still have things that were never acknowledged throughout the whole person's lifetime here. So it may come back around again because you didn't really get down to the nitty gritty with it. You kind of just said what you had to say, but you never healed what caused it to begin with. And then the last one that I feel is demons. Now, demons are very rare. I feel like demons, I think like poltergeists get labeled as demons a lot. Demons usually have to be invited in. You'd have to like do something stupid to invite this thing in. Or I guess in some instances, people could send them after you, but they have to leave when you demand them to leave. And I guess sometimes people just don't realize that they have the power to do this. And you can do this with any of these attachments. You have the power to demand that they leave. And as long as you're doing it and you're saying it in accordance with spiritual law, they're going to go. But you have to be empowered. You can't be in a place of fear, because that's what they feed off of. Demons, attachments, all of this stuff feeds off of fear and any of the vibrations that come along with fear. So fear, is the main one, but all of those other things stem from fear, like jealousy, anger, resentment. All of those things stem from fear because they're triggered inside of you to react in certain ways to your fear. If you get angry about something, it's usually because you're fearful of what the outcome or what somebody did. It's kind of like you would have to go in and dig deep to figure it out. But like jealousy too, like if you're jealous of somebody or somebody's jealous of you, it stems out of a place of fear because they're fearful that, you're better than them. They're fearful, you know what I mean? Like all of these things come out of either love or fear, but all of the attachments, all of the negative things come out of the vibration of fear. So you just have to make sure you're not giving your power away by being in a place of fear when something like this manifests into your life. All right, so now that you know what the different ones are, how to basically get rid of all of these is to go in and heal what they're being attracted to. Why are they attaching to you? And again, you're going to find similarities between all of them. So if you can't figure out like that it's from a past life, you can't figure out if it's from this lifetime or if it's a ghost or it's a this or it's a that, it really doesn't matter because they wouldn't be there, they wouldn't have any power over you unless you were giving it to them in some way, because you're either in a place of fear or you've got something inside of you that you've never healed. I do find that a lot of attachments that I've dealt with within the experiences I've seen them show up have come from like sexual trauma. So if you've ever been molested or you were raped or maybe in a past life one of those things happened to you, or in your ancestral lineage somebody had that happen to them, you could be dealing with that here in this lifetime, or dealing with that for somebody else, or just dealing with it for yourself. But a lot of times I find that these things come in from that, and it's again a place of fear, and it's unresolved things that were never healed, they were never acknowledged. Maybe the person got in trouble for what they did to you, but you may have not have gone into the deep healing work connected to it, because most of this stuff takes forgiveness. It takes understanding that yes, that you, like, I'm not saying it's okay for those things to happen, but what I'm saying is that there's reasons for them to happen that you've signed up to deal with, first of all, but also usually there's something that happened to that person that made them do what they did to you. Okay, so it's like there's this chain of events that you were the unfortunate person that received what they did. But if you never go into it, you never heal, you never release from it, you just create an attachment to it, and it continues to impact your day-to-day life for the rest of your life. You're going to be traumatized by this thing that traumatized you years and years ago. I feel like PTSD is an attachment. Most people who have PTSD have an attachment to the event that they suffer PTSD from. And so by going back to the core of what they experienced and releasing the attachment to that experience, like healing around it, like recreating that experience and releasing themselves from it, that's how they're going to, break themselves from the PTSD, or that's how they're going to break themselves from the attachment. And so all of this is basically, the best ways to do it are through meditation or through hypnosis, to go back and to get the underlying cause of why this is happening in your day-to-day life. What happened to you that brought it up, and what are you holding on to from it? Like, I had a person that had a demon, and it was because of sexual trauma. And the demon left. We cleared it. We figured it out. We go, okay, this is where it came from. We had somebody come. They did the house blessing, cleared the thing out, demanded that it leave. It left. But then years later, it came back. Why? Because the fear got triggered again, because there was now a daughter that was having a child. And so those fears of this happening to the grandchild came back up. And so it brought this thing back in out of fear. So if you never heal the underlying cause of these things, or if you just heal a bit of them, they can come back. So like going through the meditations, rituals, oils, things like that are kind of like a short-term fix for it, because if you're not healing what it's attached to, you're never going to release yourself from the thing entirely. So again, you could come back in another lifetime and here it is again, or you come back to it a few years later because it gets triggered in you through your fear again. So it's hard for me to sit here and tell you every single thing, because it's going to be different for every single person. But basically, attachments are just unhealed experiences. And the best way to kind of navigate through yours is to just figure out what's it connected to, and where could that be coming from. And if it's not something that happened in this lifetime that you can pinpoint your finger on, and you maybe ask for advice from some others in your life, maybe you have somebody that's known you through your whole life that can't really see it either, then maybe it's a past life, or maybe it's karmic thing that was passed down through your ancestors. But basically you would be able to find that out too, like through going through your history, going through your family's history to figure out, okay, like what type of things happen that this could be connected to. Always you're going to find it, you're just, and have that understanding too. Always know that you can find it. And if you can't find it, you can heal the root cause of it, okay? You can figure out, what is this connected to? Like, meaning like what trauma could it possibly be connected to, or what belief could it possibly be connected to? And then heal that belief or that trauma and all of the things that are surrounding it, so that you can release yourself from the attachment to it. And then you can heal yourself and heal the emotions that have been triggering things into your life, because usually everything that's in our reality is something we've attracted to us. And so if we've got a big old negative attachment and we're attracting all this horrible stuff, once we heal that, all that horrible stuff clears up and goes away, and then you start living your life a lot easier. But if you then again later down the road have it come back up, you can probably pinpoint, okay, here it is, let me go deeper into this and figure out what it's connected to, let me heal it again, go deeper into the levels of it. But if there's, just like something that you're dealing with and you kind of just want to like start the process off, or you just want to kind of like release yourself from the attachment a little bit so that you have the time to navigate through it and do the healing work, essential oils can assist you in healing your body. You could use frankincense, Palo Santo. You could actually use physical Palo Santo to clear your space out, clear your energy field. That will kind of subside the effects of the attachment, so that you can then go into meditation and then navigate to what it is that's needing healing and bring your awareness to it, and then continue to do it. You're not going to get through it in one meditation. This is going to be something that you're going to want to do over and over. Rituals will help you too, because then it's something in the physical that you're doing, and there's many different attachments, many different experiences. But I'm sure if you Google a ritual that may be similar to what your experience are going through, you can find a ritual that connects to that. But I'm also a believer that every ritual was created by somebody, and you are the power, you are the creator of your reality, you have the power to manifest, you have the power to create your own ritual specific to you that's going to assist you in navigating through what you need to heal and release yourself from in order to heal from this attachment that you've had in your life. And then there's a prayer on my Bridget Rao channel in the community board. I shared it not too long ago. I think it's the sovereignty, the Declaration of Sovereignty or something like that. You can go and Google that, or you can just go to my Bridget Rao channel, or I can find it and link it in the description. But basically, when you state that, it will release you from any attachments. It will release you from any of those entities, attachments, things like that. So then you can go ahead and heal whatever it's connected to. Some of them are outward influences, so when you do that, it will release you from those ones. But if it's something inside, internal, that you need to heal, going through the declaration will help you, but it's going to rear its head back up because you haven't healed the underlying cause of it. So again, these are just like quick fixes in my book. Unless you're ready to go heal, this is Alcyon, unless you're ready to go heal the bigger parts of it, it's just going to keep coming back around. So it would be very beneficial for you to do the healing work that you're guided to do in connection to what attachment you have. And they're going to come from your main chakras. So like your root chakra, if there's an attachment there, you may have issues like manifesting money. You may have issues in the material, feeling grounded. You may have issues feeling safe. Your sacral would be your relationships. If every one of your relationships ends badly, or all your friends can't stand you, like all of a sudden you just start losing people out of your life, there could be an attachment with your relationships. Your power center, your solar plexus is, of course, your power. So if you're feeling no confidence, if you're feeling like, people have got it out for you, things like that, that's going to be connected here. The heart is the place of compassion, your love. And I feel like the heart's going to be impacted through all of them. So your heart, you may want to work on that first and then feel out whatever else it could be connected to. Throat is going to be your truth. If you're having an issue with speaking your truth, or if you're having an issue with people lying to you, you're having an issue with like hoarseness or coughing all the time, and you can't, like, there's no like doctor thing for it, then it's probably some sort of attachment. With the third eye, you could be having headaches, or if you're somebody that's got clairvoyant abilities, but all of a sudden they just go off and you're not seeing things anymore, there could be an attachment there. And then the crown, of course, is your main connection, your intuition, like your connection to the higher realms. If that's getting shut off, then it's probably something outside of you, or a fear of being able to do that work, which could be connected to, like, maybe you had like Christian views that, you're fearful of doing that work because they look at it as like a sin, and it's there's always so many different ways and so many different people. It's like the possibilities are endless. So you're gonna have to kind of use your intuition to guide you through this. Another one is like your ears. Like if you're having ringing in your ears or buzzing in your ears, there could be something going on with that. Like if the way that you're hearing things could be messed up. There could be an attachment there. There's all different things. Like it's just endless. But I don't have time to go into like a 4-hour video on this. If you're wanting to know more about attachments, let me know in the comments. But I just wanted to give you kind of like my understanding of attachments and my way of looking at it as to how you can permanently release yourself from them, because I feel like the other things are just like a short-term fix, but the long-term goal is that they don't come back, and that the long-term goal is that you're not attracting more to you. And the only way that's going to happen is if you heal what brought them on to begin with, okay? So hopefully this will assist you in kind of understanding them, empower you to not be fearful, because fearful is just going to make more of them come in, and make you understand that even if there was a demon, you have the power to say, get out of here, call on Jesus, call on your I Am Presence, call on God, Creator, whatever you want, and state, I demand that you leave. They have to leave. And if they don't leave, it's because either you or someone there is fearful of it and not, demanding that it leaves. And then that's another can of worms for you to deal with. But basically every one of these attachments is able to be demanded out of your life, but you need to heal what it was coming in for to begin with, okay? So thank you very much. If there's anything else you'd like to know about, you can put it down in the comments. I am going to be doing some more videos soon about other things that have been asked in the comment section. If you'd like to donate, there is a positive energy exchange donation link down there. And if you would like to send a deck for when I do the readings, there's an Amazon wish list down below. If you'd like a private reading, or if you'd like a channeled meditation to assist you to navigate through your own stuff to heal, I tap in with the emissaries, the Pleiadians, and they got I channel through them a specific guided meditation for you. So if you give me an email about like what's going on with you, I can get you a specific meditation for you to listen to as many times as you want, because it's a recording, and then that can help you to release yourself from attachments, or to navigate through past lives, or to heal a relationship, or to bring abundance, whatever it is. So if that's something that interests you, or if you want a private reading, I am on a 2-week wait, but all of that information is down below as well. So other than that, I hope that you have a beautiful attachment-free year. In Mune, namaste.